Alright, hello, and welcome back. Hello there, Neon and Night, how's it going? Right, let's see. Electrochemistry. And now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. Will it make me a super cop? Wait, but Kim is here. He'll be disappointed. This is going to be really bad for my health, isn't it? Okay, my body is ready. Let's do this. Try some speed. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Let's see. It'll make you into more than a mega cop. This is your modus operandi. This is how you've done it for years. Let's go. Wait, but Kim is here. He'll be disappointed. See, that's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed can help you with that. And Kim. It can help you with everything. This is going to be really bad for my health, isn't it? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I hope you enjoy your drawing there, Knight. Alright, let's snort some speed. You raise the bottle close to a nostril and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic and stings a bit inside your nose. Mamma mia! Good. I have you. Good to have you back, Officer Megacop. The world has been waiting. Mamma mia. And now, the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow, and your jaw clenches. Composure. Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco. Suggestion. Time for a little truth. Tell the lieutenant you did some. Clear the air. Kim, I did a little speed. I hope you don't mind. It was for professional reasons. Feels great. Are there any downsides to this at all?
I'm not your mother. I don't care. Do what you have to do.
Esprit de corps. As long as you remain functional, he thinks. And now, let's get back to work. Feels great. Are there any downsides to this at all? To this? You kidding? There are downsides to not being on it. Volition. There are massive downsides. It's a potential neurotoxin. You're turning yourself into a afraid idiot. Cool, cool. Let's boogie. Spring, spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task in the task chain. I hope you don't mind, I just snorted a whole bunch of speed. I see I should do the cryptozoologist quest line here. I gotta do a bunch of them before nighttime, I think. At least all the ones I can't do at nighttime. Because it's already about 10:30. Visual calculus. The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. Yell ho into the slit. What's in there? Kim, any ideas what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
I think we might find Ruby down there.
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
But not in there.
I hope not.
Yell ho inside the slit. There's no echo and no answer. What's in there? Maybe just a storm drain for the sewer? Finish thought. Was that... Oh yeah, that one guy and his kid is up there. I'll talk to them later.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of a trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Composure, his self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Moral, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back. Man, you should leave your woo man unattended in the cafeteria, surrounded by communists. The lieutenant sighs at your flagrant misogyny. The cryptozoologist's companion says nothing but nods approvingly in your direction. Yes, Gary the crypto-fascist.
So that's what this is. Lena sent you. Can't say I blame her. We've been here for days. That darn water lock is broken, and we can't go under the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage. But it's fixed now. You can go back. The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it. Withhold the whole story.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess you're right. There was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now. No, it was all me. I caused your delay, and I'm sorry. But you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of the netting that has come loose in the wind. Interfacing. His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. Volition. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
What makes it so difficult? What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Inland Empire. Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect that there's something paranatural about this phasmid. How big is the phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you. Physical instrument. Seems puny, to be honest. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. Electrochemistry would be glory itself. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found it?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, burlesquely enough to even be that he even seems taken aback by.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said that there's been sightings of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Encyclopedia failure. Part the no genesis?
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males. A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feelings in me.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Composure. There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect. Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps? How do the traps work?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Sight. Inside the trap, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Interfacing. The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
It's time to return to your woman, Morrill.
By woman,
Wo-
you mean my wife, I assume. I will return to her. I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Empathy won't let Lena down. It sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Reaction speed. She's seen it. Really, she's sighted the phasmid. She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Inland Empire. Needless to say, you must ask her about this mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Endurance. His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast. Maybe you should go back up to the whirling, warm up, and come back to check the traps later. You should just give up on the bug hunt. Okay, I understand. I don't want to give up on things either.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
Volition. He's dead set on this. Interfacing. I could go for some trap setting. How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Suggestion. He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up if you prod a little. So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
I don't. It's a profession just like any other. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. Cryptozoology does seem like a lot of wishful thinking.
My methods are the same as those of other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence, and I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Pain threshold. Your nerve endings tell you there's no such thing as a positive surprise. Life surprises are mostly miserable.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a truly good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. Serendipities abound.
And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Interesting. Something for later. This close call. So have you never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateauquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
A 2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Not approvingly, then the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd. I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
Shivers. The hair on your arm stands up. Electricity sounds like reeds hissing. Let's see. Let's talk about something else. What kinds of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
Conceptualization. He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't. You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
Thank you for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
A rhetoric. We should have to discuss, he wants to say, but decides against it. Suggestion. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena. Or his friend Gary. He won't just talk. Enough tales to change. Okay, let's
By
talk to
all
Gary
means.
first. I have to talk to him for the quest anyway.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer? Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Reaction speed. Yellow man, that sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors. Yeah, more of a city boy, too.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. I've been trained to identify the slightest hint of degeneracy by the preeminent authority on it. Drunks and degenerates. That's my crew. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk or a degenerate, maybe even both. Nobody's perfect, I'm sure. You've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I didn't mean it in any scientific way.
His gaze shifts nervously to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Gary, do you know how to turn back time? If I could turn back time. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags? Oh yeah, I think I have to pass some check or something to get. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Composure. He's not feeling very comfortable in his clothes, is he? Strange. Let's see. Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
Composure. His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right. You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying. It seems as though you were calling to it longingly when you cried yellow man. I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes. You look like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this, a home in his colonial mug collection.
How do you mean? Forgive me, officer, but we've only just met.
Half polite. He's trying not to look afraid, because that would be incriminating, yet he is. Just admit it, man, you put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling. You're acting kind of suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of the lynching? All right, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I would, but I don't know how. How do I find someone, Kim? That's
Using a standard form, officer.
The lieutenant pulls out a sheet of carbon copy paper, scribbles something on it, then tears out the bottom page and hands it to Gary.
It's 50 real. You're getting off easy. In return, we expect information. You have questions to answer, sir.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Electrochemistry. Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info. How did you get into the trash container? Gary, did you put the clothes of the murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
Hearing, as he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another, as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where? What's that strange sound? Oh, how did you get into the container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Reaction speed. He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer. What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, like this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Shivers. Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles, the smell of decay. Hearing. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
Composure. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after the topic is concluded. Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over. Half-light. Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation. Let's see, that's 58. Okay,
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
let's see, composure, 58%. Why is he shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure. +1, clinking sound. +1, thinking about the armor. Success. That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together. As if something is ready to rip out from underneath. His massive musculature? Something worn underneath it. Composure. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One to make a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles. Stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives. I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was...
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see a gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Gary.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Give me that armor now. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Why did you lie to me, Gary? Do you know who killed the hangman? Give me it. There you go. Item gain the Fairweather Tea 500. Curious. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon, it's in your hands, smelling of his sweat. Interfacing, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. Endurance. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live. Why did you really put the clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head. Esprit de corps. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions. Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Let's see, are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kutsuragi?
I'm sorry for what I said.
So Gary, you live nearby, in an apartment in Martinez. Point in the direction.
Sure do, officer.
Sight. His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going. Have you found your door open lately? And you're a big man from Hemdall fan? Mr. Clare must be very angry with you. I think I broke into your apartment. I'm very sorry. Well, we'll return to this later. For now, let me ask you something else.
Mr. Everard?
The color drains from his face, yes. He insisted that I open the door to your apartment.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around, whispering. He makes sure no one hears you talk. Composure. As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back. Really, I don't even know what it was about. I just opened the door. Yeah, I don't want to know what it was. But he doesn't like you. Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door. Nod grimly. Our discussion on this topic is over, Gary.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Half-Light. This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
Empathy. He clearly likes his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Gary, do you know how to turn back time?
Do I know how to turn back time? Is that a trick question?
The lieutenant crosses his arms and turns to look at you. Esprit de corps, you'd better be going somewhere case-related with this. I'm all out of tricks, Gary. Tell me what you know. Yes, Gary, a trick. Now humor me. I don't joke about time, Gary. Stare at him intently.
Phew. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, of course there are theories out there.
Inland Empire. The further out, the better. What kind of theories are we talking about here?
Well, there's a very interesting cryptid known as the Semper Ma, and a certain tribe of ancient Kits who practice digital castigation. Though, frankly, I don't know how compelling you'll find that theory. And then you hear rumors that the Seolites possess technology that actually lets them move through time like it's a corridor. Back and forth, you see.
Tell me about this cryptid, the Semper Ma.
Cryptids, actually. It's a so-called colonial animal, presenting as a large singular body when in actuality, it's a congregation of tiny organisms working in unison. It's found in the subtropical jungles of Samara. Extremely difficult to spot as it appears to the untrained eye like common mud. It's thought to be impossible to catch, and very dangerous.
Oh wait, it looks like mud?
Yes, it blends in with the jungle floor. Unsurprisingly, it's become the subject of many local myths. Some have even described it as an angry forest spirit, or a manifestation of the forest itself.
How dangerous is it?
I once heard a story about a whole village disappearing overnight, without a trace. Can you imagine that? Just a large patch of mud where the settlement was.
Yes, vividly. No, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't want to imagine. Scoff. I've seen the sky cry blood while everything turns to vapor. I think I can manage, Gary.
Yes, that's also horrible. I mean in a much grander scale. Exactly what happened to that village? Whole area is completely abandoned now. Locals won't even go near it. They swear the mud writhes and occasionally grows strange shapes.
Terrifying. I asked you about temporal manipulation, not mud.
It gets even scarier. You see, the Semper Ma has also evolved a curious defensive mechanism. When threatened, it has the ability to revert back to an earlier stage in its own life cycle. It may even be able to do this continually, ad infinitum.
Half-Light. So the scary, sentient mud is also immortal. That's good news.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. It's believed that the mechanism by which the Semper Ma reverts actually reverses the flow of time itself by about 4.5 seconds.
Hang on, I still don't see how this immortal mud monster is going to help me turn back time. Okay, I'm convinced. And what's our next step? This sounds like a dead end to me, Gary.
Well, you see, the fascinating thing about it is that this temporal reversion is said to extend to anything touching the Semperma at the moment of reversal.
So, if I cover myself with this sentient mud, so if I attack this sentient mud,
And attack it over and over again, you could theoretically punch your way back to the Franco-Nigerian era.
let's see. Half-light. Like an exoskeleton powered by fear. Seems like a dick move. Very well. The Simperma will pull my ox cart through the ages. There's balance in nature, Gary. Man is not meant to play God.
Assuming you survive the encounter, but that's way down the line, of course.
Okay, I'm convinced. What's our next step? That sounds like a dead end to me, Gary.
It's true that every expedition up to now has failed, and that several have vanished without a trace. But the potential is there, officer. It just can't be denied. And personally, it seems easier than accessing deep secret SEAL-like technology and more civilized than digital castigation. But to each his own.
You really think the Sealites can really move through time?
Well, how else did they get so far ahead of everyone in the tech race?
Yeah, how did you guys get so far ahead? Turn to the lieutenant. By working longer and harder than everyone else. By funneling a larger percentage of their country's budget to research. By all joining in solidarity. Everyone doing their part to keep the big machine moving. By seeking answers from behind the veil, from the void. Isolation, obviously. Keeping Seoul for Sealites. Very motivating. How did they do it, Cam?
No part of me is part of this conversation. Oh no. That's a special thing you two are enjoying with each other.
Everything's cool. Nothing wrong with a little speculative inquiry. But really, officer, how do you explain how the Sealites developed such a lead over the rest of us?
Composure. He's really trying to convey how cool and natural all of this is for him. What is it? Seal for Sealites.
I don't know. Sounds a bit incestuous to me. But sure, none of my business. I'm not a Sealite, but no way that's the reason they're winning the race.
Oh wait, what kind of technological advances are we talking about?
Come on, officer. Everybody knows about it. The stuff they've got, most people here can't even dream of it.
You're right, I can't even begin to imagine what you're talking about.
Believe me, it's there. Technology's so advanced, it defies description.
He's avoiding your gaze. Composure, because he's only now discovering. He has no idea what he's talking about.
But that's nothing. Just wait till you learn how they've managed to get so far ahead of us.
How then?
Isn't it obvious? Someone's been feeding them a little trickle of tech down from someplace no one else can reach.
From the future.
Exactly, officer. The Sealites are helping themselves from the future, and every little incremental improvement they receive in the present has major ripples all along the timeline. That creates a loop, right? The more advanced tech they send here, the more advanced they become in the future, which means that by smuggling ever more advanced tech down to the past, I'm sure you can see where this is heading.
Oh wait, so how did they start the loop in the first place? Then we have already lost. Look down at your clenched fist. Yes, that's the only explanation that makes sense. Gary, that's insane. You are an insane man. Sick in the head. You lost me there in the loop.
Now that is a paradox.
He smiles. An all-knowing smile, like he just explained everything. then we have already lost.
I don't know, officer. I think future Revocol might also have a few aces up its own sleeve. The people are starting to wake up, you see.
Rivacol. Esprit de corps. God, I hope he meant it sarcastically. If not, I don't really see how he can continue being a police detective.
Though I suppose this still doesn't help you manipulate time personally. Perhaps you should consider digital castigation.
Alright, what is this digital castigation?
Well, essentially it's a grief ritual practiced by certain ancient Seminese tribes. Traditionally, after the death of a village leader, the bereaved are supposed to cut off a segment of their own fingers. What makes it really disturbing is the fact that they bite off bits of their children's fingers too. Even babies. Imagine that.
F-Light, yes, imagine it. Pain threshold, agonizing pain. What does any of this have to do with turning back time, Gary?
I'm getting there. See, the practice is derived from Seminese finger counting. Each segment of the finger represents 1 hour, so they count up to 12 with one hand, disregarding the thumb, of course. By removing one segment from their fingers, they remove the corresponding hour from their life. That's what they believe, anyway.
So you're saying if I cut off both my hands, I can get back to yesterday?
No. There's a discrepancy between how these Seminese tribes count and how they tell time. As I explained, they count up to 12 on their fingers, but they divide the day into 15 parts. But that's a whole other discussion.
This wouldn't help me even if it was remotely believable. Gary, you owe me at least a finger or two for all the time you've wasted.
Oh, well, this is embarrassing, but I'm really not sure what else to tell you.
Gary, none of those sound like realistic options.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I got all my information straight from Truth Hunt. If you can't believe a radio program called Truth Hunt, who can you believe?
Endurance. This guy has proved to be a dead end, a dissatisfied growl in your abdomen. But the hard endure, and the true Kingsman keep searching. Valence, a brooder. The night is darkest before the dawn.
Hello.
What if we check the
you,
traps
officer?
for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Chaos is my method. I am a scion. We're looking for someone hiding on this very coast, looking for another thing may lead us to her. I'm all in on this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into a lot of reels.
That it will. That it absolutely will. I hope you brought your good boots.
Where are the traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them... You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me. Lay it on me, thick. Present your armpit. I don't want this, thank you very much. No, thick. He douses you with an odd-smelling spray. A double helping as you presented your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod. Shivers. This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
I'm ready. And let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Empathy. Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clearly that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
Did you know Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
The man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare say more. Let's see where the traps are. There's money. Oh, I got some. Oversized superstar sunglasses, +1 savoir-faire, dazzling reflexes, -1 visual calculus. The mere lies. Is your very stardom too dazzling for your eyes? I can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror. Then these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. Trap boathouses. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet, and looks like the same one you saw Moral set before. Same mesh, same wiring. Look around. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves confidently. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. Shivers. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Now, for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. And now, only the wind blows. Reach for the trap. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
The lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Damn, I was hoping it would be in the first one. No need to grin. I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens and getting some fresh air. It'll be in the next one, surely.
Surely. Anyway, the air is nice and fresh here.
Let's see. Should go back to the church to fast travel to finish the turn back time quest. I think I have to talk to Renee, the racist, and Measurehead.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Renee? Show him the flower.
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Hold on. Is this royalist military tradition?
It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution.
Do they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
Suggestion. You stirred up some bad memories there.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston. But not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
Renee, I need to go back in time. Can you help me? The lieutenant flashes you a quick side glance. Composure. His posture tenses. Esprit de corps. What are you up to now?
What?
The old soldier scowls at you, unamused. Empathy. He thinks that you're playing a joke on him.
Now. I'm sure the officer means it figuratively. Like a forensic technique or something, right?
I'm dead serious. Can you help me get back to the time when love was still possible? I'm not kidding. This is for Revachol. I need to return to the past. Right. A forensic technique. Can you help me or not? Forget it.
Bon song, son. You must have a loose screw up there or something. Sounds like you really mean it. All right. I will entertain this fantasy if you tell me what interest does an RCM officer have in time travel.
Oh, you're in for a treat, officer. Seeing the playful side of old René is about as rare as a red rainbow.
Love. It's about love. Men have lost their way, and I want to guide them back, like a beacon. I'm not sure, to be honest, just going with the flow.
Even after the revolution, after the beachhead, there was a chance. Had we just stayed true to our values. It happened slowly, like a seedling growing into a tree. Tiny incremental steps, imperceptible till the ticket was so thick you couldn't clear it with a flamethrower.
Half-light. You could definitely clear it with a flamethrower. Well, that depends on the flamethrower. I know I can get history back on the right track. I just want a second chance. I'm gonna do it right this time.
It really does, doesn't it? But honestly, why?
I know I can get history back on the right track.
The right track? This is the right track. The only track. This is the world we shaped, a reflection of what we are. Cowardly, ugly, and numb. And there are no second chances. We don't deserve them. You can't just go back and restart. That would make everything meaningless.
A shadow of pain comes over his face. Empathy. There's something substantial moving in him, trying to get out. What is it? Even thinking about it is invading his privacy. Better let it go. Let's see. 17% pain threshold. Regret about what? +1 bonded over flamethrowers. No. You know the answer. Don't think it, just say it. Kim? War? Dad? I'm not gonna say anything.
Meaningless is what I think this line of questioning is. Call me a skeptic, but I don't think time travel is going to solve our murder case. So, is there anything else you want from this gentleman, or can we get back to it?
Pain threshold. Shouldn't have brought him into this. He doesn't know pain like you do. Endurance. The carabiner is too old and feeble to be useful, but you will carry on. Mover tempor, Kingsman. For the tenacious, no road is impassable. The old carabiner looks at you with a wary expectation. I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. Powerful leaders not afraid to do what must be done. That's what this country needs. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Revachol would be a different place if more people realized that. We could still be the...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. Let's talk about something else. Oh yeah, I have to put on the... Oh yeah, I got the chest piece. The +1 pain threshold, thicker skin, +1 volition, a borrowed confidence, -1 empathy, mania of invulnerability. This virtuous enameled cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across the countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Oh, there it is. Interfacing. Snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. The white colors nearly meld together. Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, this uni-bodied Caprice Kanema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted forward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently. This machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Point to the vehicle. Very cool. I don't like your machine, Lieutenant. Looks impractical. Shrug, the motor carriage, one of many. Actually, motor carriages don't interest me.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
The lieutenant smiles ever so slightly. What's it packing there? Point to the engine. What in there made the infernal whining sound that woke me? A fine machine. Run your hand over the smooth metal surface.
130.
Interfacing, I reckon. That's what 7-liter V12 there. That's what? Rub your chin, 7-liter V12. Let out a whistle. Mama's surfing some serious macaroni.
You lost me there.
130 kilowatts is a lot of power, Kim.
The Kinema is fast. Feels right at home on the raised motor track. Hard to find something that could overtake it.
A fine machine.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
Electrochemistry. It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. Visual calculus. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot. You need to slam it, Kim. Make it more imposing.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Interfacing, lingo it up. Drop the ride, 200 mil. Get the camber to frosty minus.
No, that's porno tuning.
Half-light. Use bigger words. Wait, what about the spinners, huh? It needs a massive aero kit and gargantuan roof-mounted...
Porno. That's short for pornography.
Conceptualization. The sole purpose of pornography is to stimulate one's visual sense, to evoke sexual arousal. The same is true with the modifications you're proposing. So, what's wrong with pornography? Pornography is something completely different, Kim. Alright, I guess I did get a bit porny there.
That's a negative on the porno. Thank you, though.
Is that what made the infernal whining sound that
You
woke
mean
me?
a coil noise?
What is coil noise?
When variable current passes through wires that make up the coils on the electrical system on this machine, it causes vibration in the wires and the cores of the coils. When the frequency of the current in the coils falls within the audible range, the resulting vibration creates the whiny sound you mentioned.
Physical instrument. What a binocular. A suggestion. Whatever you do, don't make fun of the lieutenant for explaining this to you. You're such a binocular, Kim. Wow. How do you know all that? That's exactly what I thought.
I have pretty much maintained my vehicles by myself ever since one was assigned to me. You inevitably pick up some knowledge on the way.
Empathy. There's pride in there. A trained driver knows his ride.
Hello, compatriote. You have something to discuss?
I'm trying to turn back time. Can you help me, brother?
This again? Really?
No.
My friend, I
Time to
don't
be
know what
racist.
you're after, but I have to tell you, there's no turning back time. I've seen the demographic report. I know what our experts say. Our greatest days as a people are behind us, and we're not going back.
Or what about the ancient fascist magic? So, Measurehead was right. Haplogroup B4's time is over.
Trust me, brother, I've done the research. Fascist magic just ain't true.
Measurehead was right. Haplogroup B4's.
That's bullshit. We can't turn back time, but that doesn't mean we can just surrender to the savages. It's about preserving our heritage, our birthright.
What am I supposed to do then?
That's the question, isn't it? People think you and me got it so easy, but the reality is it's fucking hard to be a regular guy these days.
The rumbling in your stomach says that there's something not quite right with this one. Oh no, oh no. The straight white man, the most oppressed group, the most oppressed group.
You know, I get funny looks from people all the time. I know they're looking at my gut. I can see that. Big fucking deal. A guy put on a little weight. Who cares?
Composure alert. We detect a major body image disturbance. Half-light. He's really got himself worked up now. Dangerous stores of pent-up emotion there. He grinds a cigarette butt into the pavement and quickly lights another. Logic. What's really going on with this guy? I ask you again, brother, can you help me turn back time?
Time, yeah? Listen, man. Do you even understand how hard we've got it? How completely stacked the whole rotten deck is against people like you and me?
He takes a furious drag of his cigarette. Empathy. He's not listening at all, just circling the drain. Time, lorry man, can you reverse it? You know what? I'll ask someone else for help. The lorry man looks at you like he can't decide whether he wants to smash something or break down in tears. The silence is heavy and uncomfortable.
No, I can't help you. And I'll tell you why. 'Cause there's no point, you hear me? Unless you believe in ancient fascist magic like some wannabe magus.
Inland Empire. Actually, it's called extra physics, and you don't need to be a magus to access it. The lieutenant doesn't utter a word, but his face says, I told you so. Endurance. This fool is a colossal waste of time. There's no Kingsman inside him, just self-loathing and entitlement. Let's keep searching. Here we go.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Let's go through his other stuff. Why are you not with the Hardy
I
Boys?
am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
But you're all part of the Union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Seminoles. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
Let's go over the funky race classifications again.
There
See,
is
something
nothing
new?
fun.
Oh, okay.
I cannot possibly.
I need to
imagine
way to turn back
without-
time.
God damn it. It's becoming a thing now, huh?
Kim, you cannot even begin to comprehend the importance of this. It's a harmless quirk. Can't you just roll with it? Ignore him.
No, I cannot. Just make it quick, please.
Observe. Like a peasant hoping to bed a nobler woman. The ham sandwich is reaching straight for the advanced concepts. No humility, awareness, or respect.
I love when he calls me a ham sandwich.
Get your dirty hick dick away from these advanced concepts, peasant.
To comprehend time, you must possess at least a basic understanding of how reality works, what the rules are. The look of infinite astoundment in your eyes says you have no idea.
Hey, I'm a police officer. I know plenty. I admit I've re-entered this reality quite recently. Things are still hazy. You're right, I don't even know who I am. I'll look at your hands in bewilderment.
The concepts you reach for are far beyond you, Poopa. Without the necessary vocabulary, you are only wasting my time. Educate yourself first. Talk to people and understand the basics.
Endurance. This again, but you've learned the basics. Guess we need to return to Mr. Monolith once we've figured out what else is missing from the curriculum. Physical instrument. Just remember, minimum effort. Let things get too brainy and bang. You're a binoclard. No one wants that.
Come back to me when you've mastered the rhizome.
As he asks a local traditionalist if anything, how to turn back. Return to Measurehead once you understand basic reality. Let's see, inspect the traps. Didn't I do that? Or I'm pretty sure I did the. Got the reality lowdown already. Hold on.
C'est unpromising. Observe. Like a peasant hoping to bed a nobler woman. The ham sandwich is reaching straight for the advanced concepts. No humility, awareness, or respect.
Get your dirty.
To
Okay, you said
comprehend
this already.
time,
Oh,
you
yes.
must possess at least a basic understanding of how reality works, what the rules are. The look of infinite astoundment in your eyes says you have no idea.
Let's see. Oh,
The
police
concepts
officer?
you read,
No, he's just saying the same thing. This again? Okay,
come
yeah.
back to me when you've mastered the rhizome.
I don't know what he wants me to do. Because I already got the reality lowdown, I'm pretty sure. Unless I have to talk to... Hold on, let me look this up. Oh, I didn't know I had to do this. Apparently you have to finish the thought. Where is it? It's one of these. before he will, derealization. Yeah, you have to finish this. It's only 3.5 hours. That's not that bad. We can get rid of something else here. Let's see. What do I want to get rid of? Okay, I have to keep that one. I guess this one's not very helpful. There. And then finish this. Oh, no. There, so once that's done, I can return to him and do that. I guess while I'm here, I can do the, get some money. I think I need rhetoric. Rhetoric and logic. I'll have to smoke a cigarette. Wait, what? Oh, it gave me a volition. That's why. I wonder if I took it off and I had nothing and it was critical already. Would I just, like, die? I've never done that before. Let's see. Oh, Oh, I am dying. Never mind. That is what happens. That's the volition. Despair creeps into you, getting fat in your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now. Inland Empire. There's something else in there. There has to be, but it's like reaching your hand into muddy water, fishing around and coming up with nothing. Interfacing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're shit out of luck fishing around right now. You're drowning. Conceptualization. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step from total annihilation, right? I'm seriously running out of shits to give, Kim. Fuck you. I've wasted my life protecting humans. They don't deserve it. I'm done. No one even likes cops. I wish I was fucking dead. Fuck you, fuck you. He watches your meltdown stoically from behind the lens of his glasses. Volition. Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked for comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. It's because the Furrows lost that match, said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisition. And anyway, police work really burns you out after a while. Satellite Officer Jean Wigmar, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Mac Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all. And that's the one of the endings. I have a mental breakdown. Okay, don't change my arm. Wait, what was on me that made me lose my shit? Where is it? Reception interfacing Inland Empire. That I changed my hat, I think my jacket. Or maybe it was my shirt. Oh, it was the. Oh, it gives me a volition. That's why when I take it off, it removes my thing from my health bar, and I die. Okay, don't take off the armor. In fact, you know what? Heal. Use one of the. Oh, go in. Let's see. Rhetoric 3, very low. Been in the world for 2 days, +1. Been in the world for many days. And then the dice. Hold on, let me smoke a cigarette. %. Well, I've got to keep doing it till I get it, because it's the only way to get in here. And I'm not putting the points into rhetoric. How many tries will it take? Okay, there are 3. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you. Hello, is there anybody there? Cargo container door. The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
A wry smile crosses the lieutenant's face. Try again. If there's someone in there, I'd like to talk to you. Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
The mega-rich light-bending guy. From deep within the container, a voice.
You can't be serious.
The smile disappears. The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. Physical instrument. The feeling causes all of the hairs on your body, to stand at attention like soldiers preparing for review. Squint. Something's amiss. The light beams behind him, around his face, and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, an echo. Visual calculus. Failure. Trying to visualize the physics at play are liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter, "Hello? What's going on here? Wow!"
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
hearing. You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It's very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. A voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Hold on. Did I get my... Oh, I didn't. Hold on. Because I had to load my other save, I didn't have this equipped. I just realized. Hold on, let me put that on. There. Okay. Anyhow, my name is... Resend? Okay.
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Harrier Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
Let's see. How did you become so rich?
Oh Lord, not this again.
What's the matter, Kim?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Graz. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
Electrochemistry. And blow. Was it like being an extremely high net worth individual?
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
You're right, capital accumulation is its own reward. Don't you think that you should use your great wealth for the glory of your fatherland? You're a thief. People out there are working their asses off while you chill here. It's great that you've done so well for yourself, but you don't think you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society? Cool, I don't have any interesting replies. Let me take some drugs before I...
Which one? Revachol, where I nominally reside, or Gra, where my father immigrated from, or Ildekashebro, where I've registered my shell companies?
For almighty Revachol, of course. Oh, probably Grad, in that case. Yeah, that last one.
Listen, Mr. Dubois. If capital and nationalism went hand in hand, there'd be no need to ask the question. States are akin to boulders in a river, slowing the free flow of ideas. Given enough time, the water will wear those boulders down.
A man being a high net worth individual sounds great.
It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself spiritually.
Sight. Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose a thread. What's going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about. There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you. It's as if something is happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient.
Encyclopedia. The Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. And when the coefficient is closer to 1 or 100%, it means one person possesses all of the net worth among the group of individuals. It's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual. He's so rich. It's bending my money around me. It's I have like, what's that? 15 million real right now, even though I don't really. So, what is our coefficient? So you're telling me that you were so rich that the light literally bends around your face. The Weiss-Wiesmann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998 repeating.
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
Really?
No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
Suggestion. A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billionaire. Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think.
Endurance. Wouldn't say it's exactly safe now, but financially secure individuals are known adrenaline junkies.
By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez, a district of Revachol, a former capital of the world. We're in Martinez. There's a pretty good hostel here called the Whirling in Rags. We're in Martinez. There's a cool church here. We're in Martinez. There's a creepy abandoned commercial area here.
Ah, Revachol. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
Why don't you help them? You've got so much money, it can't make a difference to you. So you travel from place to place via shipping container?
Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
So you're saying that being rich isn't worth the hassle. Those things all sound pretty nice. Jan, yeah, that does sound pretty tiresome.
Don't get me wrong. They're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
Empathy. He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals, such as yourself, for example. No problems at all. So you're saying that being rich isn't worth the hassle. Good, now that we've sorted that out, let me ask you something else.
What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that. Why go so soon? I feel we've so much more to talk about. Ah, well, until next time. Welcome back, gentlemen.
You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
But Kim, I also can't afford to look any better than I do now. That's why I need the money. You're right, that was extremely unprofessional. I apologize.
It's
Give me
perfectly
the money.
alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
Multi-billionaire. Triple-digit billionaire. Gives me $3. How much could a banana cost? $10? Electrochemistry. Unbelievable. You managed to meet a man who's so rich light literally bends around him, and all you can get out of him is 3 real. What's wrong with you? It gets me almost nothing. Thank you for your kindness. Are you sure you don't have any more? I thought you were a billionaire.
That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest. Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
Suggestion. These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water. Let's see. Conceptualization. Present a sound investment plan. Or present an investment plan that is sure to fail. Congratulations! You've somehow managed to fail at failing, which means, in a strange way, that you've succeeded. You should invest in a youth center.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
A physical instrument. A place to train buff kids. Empathy. A place to teach them practical skills like teamwork and self-discipline. Conceptualization. Come on, tell him what he wants to hear. One dedicated to instilling liberal economic values in children from low net worth families. One to inspire the future leaders of tomorrow to public service.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future?
Yes, and if it doesn't work out, you can always repurpose the center as a shopping mall or private equity firm.
When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
A highly educated, work-ready human capital ready to be directed towards any number of your vast interests. With human beings, there's always a risk associated, which is why you've got to hold on to the center itself as a fallback. Conceptualization. You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities.
Thank you. I know.
I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to follow all the rules? Here's the round of seed funding. This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Electrochemistry. Cha-ching! What'll it be? Speed, vodka, cigarettes? Gave me $100.
Ratan, now's your chance to take some time off. Spend it with your good buddy and get absolutely wrecked in the process.
Drugs do go well with money, I guess. I'm sorry, man, I'm an investor now. I have to stay sober to calculate risks.
Nothing less than total annihilation will suffice.
Actually, I'm not sure about that. Hello, darkness. The lieutenant looks at you with horror. You've been mumbling to your necktie in a daze for several minutes.
Yes. Now you're displaying it. The eccentricity that becomes a wealthy individual.
If the money saint's visage were wrapped in physic-defying light, you would see his approval. Thank you for placing your unwavering trust in me. Thanks for the handout.
Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment. And I expect to see returns.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded, his mouth open slightly, then closes again. Sight. Is he having a stroke? What do you think, Kim? Not bad, huh? Kim, are you alright? Kim, are you having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. You're just still full of surprises. Most of them bad, but some good.
Composure. The lieutenant has granted you an aura of legitimacy. Bathe in it. But don't let your satisfaction show. Play it cool.
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with? The
No.
pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. The next time we meet, I'll be expecting an update on my investment. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Amazing. Well, with that money, I can actually buy those expensive shoes. Wait, what do I have on now? I have the... Oh, it just gives me +1 perception. Or the pants. What pants do I have on too? +1 composure. Here, I'll go buy those shoes, I guess. See what they have. Oh, and the speakers that come with them. There was a drug in there. Cool. Let's see, I need those found sneakers. +1 reaction speed, +1 hand-eye coordination, -1 encyclopedia. Sure.
Super cool! Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
And now the speakers. Okay, now let me buy the speakers.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening! Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
And let's see. Speakers from the People's Republic of Samara. Why did you even buy those? These are no magic speakers. These are lame speakers. All they will ever produce is a faint memory of the song you're trying to listen to. Sell them for cash. And then the shoes. Found Ultra Series sneakers. The Ultra Series found sneakers put lightness and grip above all else, with grip tape covered springboard soles and ultralight synth fabric technology, you can exit every corner with the maximum traction of a gentleman's racer. I'll get those. I'll just do this whole set. I don't think I've ever actually gotten the whole set. I don't know if it's a trophy or something you get for putting the whole thing on. But I can buy it off of Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Oh, I talked to Mignana about the armor.
So?
He told me that you promised to sick the pigs on him. He said thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing them down the armor anymore.
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
I'll remember this, Kuno. Whatever, kid.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
How's $15 sound? I want to buy those found pants.
Here, pig. We're fun now. Performance buddies.
Kuno unzips his jacket again and pulls out the pants out of the plastic wrap.
Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt.
Rhetoric. Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Here we get the found modular track pants, +1 savoir-faire, a spacious crotch, liquid fit, +1 physical instrument, performance unlimited. Entry-level found modular track pants, meant to get the urban athlete started down the found path. Labels say hydrophobic 100%, semantic, and found Mirova Lab, creating an air of pseudoscientific mystery around these pants. They feel rubbery and futuristic to touch. Read what these do. Oh yeah, +1 reaction speed, limitless grip, +1 hand-eye coordination, steady ground, -1 encyclopedia, too fast for facts. Cool. And if I put the hat on, +2 logic, unlimited peak focus, -1 perception, eyes on the road. There, now I got I think that's the full found set. I didn't get a trophy or anything. That's what the whole found set looks like. But I kind of want the cap, I think. Do I have any better hats? I don't think so. Now keep the authority hat. Let's see. How long till this thing finishes? Because I can't do finish the quest line until this is done. About 3 hours for the thing. Right, tasks. We got oh yeah, I still have to find the traps. Check the trap by lands in the far north. Okay, I have to go to cross the bridge here to get the trap. There it is. Let's see. Same as the other one. Look around. The reeds bend forlornly towards the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. Shivers, the constant distant song. Louder on this part of the coast. Nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Reach for the trap. The trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
The lieutenant takes a note. More about out of habit than duty. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. I want to make it clear that I don't actually believe the phasmid exists, okay?
Yep. The next one has a crab trapped in it. These are just crab traps, you do realize?
Alright, we got the... Check the trap morals set up in the camp, and then Tressa lands into the far northeast of the film building. Okay. Oh yeah, there's like a camp up here or something for later. I guess I can get it now. The trap is up here. Oh. Look around. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. Shivers. The wind picks up here near the Cape's End, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Reach for the trap. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done.
Bummer it wasn't in here. You getting tired? I must stress that I did not expect a cryptozoological monstrosity to be in this trap.
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Visual calculus. There's something here that would indicate a sniper has used this place as a nest for taking a shot. Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. Endurance. The wind picks up. Fine sea foam lashes your face. It feels like needles. You can take it. Just raise your collar, detective. Perception. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in Iraq.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator. Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot from there. What about the cigarette butts?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
Endurance. He looks like he's cold out here at the tip of the coast. The jacket is warm, but not for this weather. Kim, you look cold. Maybe a thicker coat. Kim, you look cold. Maybe a little pilot cap.
I'm okay. You, on the other hand, Yefreitor, you look like you're about to turn into a popsicle.
It's my style. Superstar cops don't wear parkas. They rock out. What if I want to be a popsicle? You're right. I should look into this situation before I die of hypothermia.
Don't be silly. No one wants to be a popsicle.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Island Empire. Still, you feel it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any other cigarette butts on the coast. Look over the water to the whirling in rags. There's 1.2 kilometers over the cold water in the bay, blue from the distance and the air. You see the smallest rectangle barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender. Electrochemistry. Smoking, drinking, being happy and elated. Without you. Because you're here, freezing in the wind, aren't you? Doing your detective work. Finish the thought. Let's see, anything else here? I guess I might as well do the door thing now. Oh. The building before you housed the engine. It must have been a big one. A door, unopenable. An old door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle. What is this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Visual calculus. It may have been used to service the aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification like a sea fort in the bay. Could this structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling? I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Let's see. Open the door. Interfacing. Impossible. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut. Ah, the door is shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere. Come on. We even got in the light-bending guy's container. But you're saying we can't get in here?
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
Rhetoric. No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knows that part of our M.O. But that's who I am. Who we are. I'm not gonna accept this. The door could be part of the investigation. Okay, I can live with this. Accept it. No.
Yeah, I understand you. I lack opening doors as much as the next guy. But this one is simply beyond repair, and we don't have the resources needed to open it. Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
He looks at you with a rueful smile. Conceptualization. Thought gained. One more door. At least you can think about opening it. About doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful will come of this. Yeah, I got that. This still has over 2.5 hours. Oh yeah, I have to go to the cryptozoologist camp for the trap. Look around. The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. Savoir-faire. It's good the cryptozoologist left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. Shivers. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange somehow. Reach for the trap. The trap feels light and silent. As you pick it up, something is different here. Look closer. No locusts. Logic. No phasmid either, but still. Immediately yell. It's empty. Moral didn't leave it empty. Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind. Look closer.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
Sight. The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others, like something or someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground. Actually, I do get a feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap. But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out? Yeah, it probably wasn't the phasmid, but still, Moral needs to know. You're right, but they still need to know. You're right, this crypto research has been stupid.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
But what if it was the phasmid?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists. We are cops.
Shivers. A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow of the Feld building in the distance, drawing you into it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, you should try to ask again. Oh, hello there, Faye. Yeah, the Big Mac. I'm not sure what exactly you have to do to see the phasmid at the end, though. But you do have to do the cryptozoologist questline, I think. Let's see. Here, let's go back to the whirling and talk to them. I don't know how he's. I wonder if RFK will actually get accepted as the head of the whatever the hell he's even a part of, like the FDA and pharmaceuticals and whatever. This because he even said he's going to pause publicly funded medical research for 8 years.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
It must be nice.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
He RFK Jr., he did have the Kennedy curse of getting shot. Well, I was gonna say, I guess the Kennedy curse is just having a hole in your head. It didn't matter if they're still alive or not. Just doing my job, ma'am. It was truly epic long-distance trek. I was just on my way while I was working the case. I'm basically a cryptozoologist now.
I knew it.
Esprit de corps. I'm not surprised it's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
A little silvery knob, holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an anvil, or an avian skull with 8 eyes. The 8-eyed Teratorn tie. You've never told me you've seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the Phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant readies his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait. Where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
Athelite. She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Inland Empire. Where did you go? Don't go. Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
Suggestion. So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
You were on a date.
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly. Its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it, Lena.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena.
She lowers her voice, intimidating a boy.
You trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives you a simple smile. Esprit de corps. But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day? Children make up stories and then end up believing them. Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
Empathy. She could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere. I'd really like to hear about more cryptids.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is this a cryptid? A bird cryptid? Point to the tie she gave you.
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid.
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers. Its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until
it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Uamaro is?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uva got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Half-light. Eat the bird. Ooh. It's the only way to survive. He was following it? It followed him? I understand. He started hunting it.
Yes, a bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Platzenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Reaction speed. Watch out.
Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Hold on. How did he survive to tell the story? The 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird. Fuck yes. An 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird? Come on. An 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird? No way. Fuck yeah.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
So, what was that, what was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes, but there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Conceptualization. Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes, it's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
Let's see. That's all for now.
Of course, Steve.
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
Empathy. He tries to play it cool, remain professional, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps. Let's talk about more cryptids first.
Okay. I already did my best to inform you. I don't really know what else I could discuss with a layman.
A layman. You always have to prove yourself with this man, which means you have to provide the cryptids. Maybe he'll answer. Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Conceptualization. Willow people. Not at all. What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says that if it's self-explanatory, every day.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen those willow people without knowing it?
You probably have.
How did you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself.
All right there, Knight. You have a good night.
After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. But you can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
He smirks.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined.
Fanny mushrooms.
Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
And Lena's sighting of the phasmid, is that...
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
The woman nods thoughtfully, while her hands smooth over the plaid covering her knees. I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the Gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose? Get out of here. A room with a moose.
Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Hold on. Does it also attack people? Okay, what does the dread moose look like?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
What's it look like?
Just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Then how can you tell if it's an ordinary moose or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
I'm not completely sure about this dread moose. I'm 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly believe it exists.
Of course you do.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. Sightings in Vasa, reaching back 4 centuries. But, of course, nothing satiates the skepticism of.
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek conflict. It's simply my training to question things.
Understood, Lieutenant.
The man tips his hat slightly and then looks at you. I know about the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconur.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
Lie, yes. Truth, no. Have you seen it? Yeah.
Remarkable. When?
I'm having trouble remembering. I was lying. I haven't actually seen it. I just wanted to impress you.
That's what I thought. You haven't actually seen it. In fact, I can't imagine how you could either. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Rhetoric. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it. As he was inquiring before, he was just being defensive. I know about Cryobacter catalensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
He coughs in his fist. Electrochemistry. A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told. Even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nongok.
The Nongok? Better not to go into the Nongok.
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nongok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal, who knows. When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ock hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Tell me about a cool cryptid, any cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eye.
Be friendly, dear. The detective really likes these critters. We've talked about them in great detail.
Suggestion. Now the man feels embarrassed. Time to move on, perhaps.
By all means.
So I checked all of the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
One of them was empty.
Completely empty?
The cryptozoologist's eyes grow wide. Half-light, surprise, tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet. Maybe you're joking. Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locust, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow.
I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
The old woman's face lights up.
Of course, more clever.
Suggestion. You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behoove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter, this phasmid. I don't know, I'm not persuaded. Are you sure you've exhausted all your alternative explanations?
Of course. Be sarcastic. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands, okay? Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Inland Empire. Heartfelt gratitude, but does it feel like closure? What really happened? Savoir faire. Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Let's see. Esprit de corps. Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our investigation, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window impatiently. Interfacing 97%. Develop an alternative theory about the missing locusts. +1 enthusiastic about Phasmid. +1 something up with the trap. +2 Kuno's a hooligan. +1 considered alternatives. Considering the way that the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken, most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap too. Logic. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno. I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locusts.
A little hooligan? But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel, you've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents. My favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
Logic. After this, this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his teeth.
Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologise, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
I'll get going.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion. I mean, officers.
Okay, it doesn't have anything else. Okay. Let's see. I should go to the bookstore and buy some books now that I have the money. Oh, is there a board game or something here? Buy the suzerainty game.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
And buy the world game as well.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
This thing. What is this? Wow, more him. Let's see. It's different. No, it's the same one as last time, I think. Let's see. The Man from Himdall and the Devil
It
Woman.
is a bestseller for a reason.
Oh yeah, who's Dick Mullen? Let's see. Storekeep, what's this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Electrochemistry. Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down. Let's see what it says. I need a reaction speed for that. So do I have something that gives me reaction speed? The hat? It does. Does that affect this, or do I have to put a point into it? I do have to put a point into it. How many points? 3 points. Sure. Let's see. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic, Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend, and has just a few days to prove his innocence. And what does this speak to me? Could it be that the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy, full of contradictions. Let's see, $7.99. What about the Dick Mullen novel?
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
Oh, it's the Cockatoo book. Hold on. I remember that being quite a long one. Hold on. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. Shelf of biology. Okay, there. I had to fix my mic. Shelf of biographies. Shopkeep. Anything a note on the shelf?
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about, which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest?
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Conceptualization. Do her words seem vague and abstract to you? So you recommend it?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
Inland Empire. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely it's important somehow. There is something personal inside. 470, interested in The Greatest Innocence book.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Let's see. I want to buy the medicinal purposes of the pale.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Okay, there. Got all the books. I can read those at nighttime. In the board game. let's see. Oh yeah, I got the eye tie, 8-eyed Terratorn tie, +1 Inland Empire, Octuple Vision, +1 Volition, Cryptid's Protection, a slender bolo tie held together by an antique clasp in the shape of a bird skull. The skull features 8 cavities for eyes. It's disturbing, but you can't look away. I have to contact Kuno and all that. But I'll save that for tomorrow, because it's getting pretty late. And I've got work in the morning. I'll just head over here, so ready for tomorrow. Oh wait, I didn't buy the Cockatoo book, that's right. So I remember. I'll go into the bookstore. Because I remember that being pretty long. A long read. Okay. Well, that's it for me for tonight. Well, thank you all very much for watching, and have a good night.